KZ2 Masters on Thursday in Portimão for the champions of the future, and it was Anthony Abbasse who had put it on pole position.
We start the weekend very well. It's a very nice place here in Portugal. I like this track, and yeah, we do the qualifying. It was only 6 minutes, so we need to start as soon as possible and push. And then I feel more grip, more the session arrive more have grip, so at the end I finish with, I don't know, maybe 4 tenths or 3 tenths.
The Frenchmen certainly delivering in the torrid, rainy, wet conditions. But by the time their race headed out on circuit, the sun had started to shine as the field certainly went to battle. Some drivers coming away with a little bit more than they could chew. Julien, who certainly gained good positions in the early stages, getting past Davide Fore to finish the race on track in P2, picked up a 5-second time penalty and finished the race on P4 behind Davide Fore and Daniel Bray, who rounded out the top 3 at the end of the first day of racing. KZ2 Masters on Friday kick-started well for Anthony Abbasse, the pole sitter on Thursday's qualifying, delivering another 2 qualifying heat wins to end the day on top with maximum points.
The goal is complete, to understand well the track on the wet and also on the dry, so we make some adjustments during the last heat, and it was very nice. So we continue to work a little bit tonight, and for tomorrow it will be okay.
Heat 3, however, would be a disaster for Victor Jimenez. A jump start would put him well down in the field, but Alessio La Martina and Daniel Bray would take the Heat 3 second and third, with Daniel Bray and Davide Fore in Heat 2 who would round out the top 3. But the top 5 at the end of all the racing would see Anthony Abbasse still with the maximum points, delivering a near-perfect weekend, despite the difficulties he may have faced at the start of the racing. Daniel Bray as well, a brilliant end to his, 126 points to his name ahead of Davide Fore's 123 points. Julien would end the day with 106, with Andre Serafim rounding out the KZ2 Masters top 5 with 104 points. It's time for the Masters to take their turn, and for this man here, Anthony Abbasse, he has certainly taken master to a new level as he has mastered this circuit. Pole position and 3 qualifying heat wins out of 3, and the super heat win earlier on today. The 2024 Vice European Champion is primed to start this race at the front of the field. 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. They go out and we race, and it's a brilliant start from both the front rows. One of the IPKs goes up. It was Jendrik Vaca who went up skywards, but he's back on all 4 wheels. But crucially, it's Anthony Abbasse who gets away well on board with our man who starts on the inside, Davide Fore. And you can see him fighting with the cut there to try and get involved. He's on the outside line there of Daniel Bray, trying to get involved, but he can't quite get it done. He slots backwards in the order. As we've got side-by-side action here in the background, the 711 getting the moves done here. This is much further down in the order. That's Ricardo Avila battling away. At this moment, not able to get that move done. Stays behind. There's the IPK down the inside. Continuing this fight here, Davide Fore all over the rear bumper. There's the gap. He found it down the inside at turn number 5. And Davide Fore, after waiting for 7 laps, finally gets a gap and gets through past. And now a late lunge as well from Alessio La Martina, and it didn't go his way. The door slammed closed. And now Alessio La Martina finds the gap, and through goes Riccardo Nalon as well. Both of them getting past the Portuguese driver, who now tumbles to P7. And now he has the Frenchman as well. Oh, very sideways moment there, under braking. Unfortunately, Mark Volhauser, we thought he had a moment earlier on. And there you can see the Czech driver going no further. This is further back in the field. Big lunge down the inside there. That is absolutely superb racing. Lap 19. Penultimate lap, last lap board will be out this time, and Nicastro gets ever closer here. It's just a case of when does he want to go for it, because he's in lunge distance now. I don't think he's going to find a way through. Anthony Abbasse will not defend now into these final sectors. He's going to be cool, calm, collected, and the Frenchman will collect a top step on the podium across the line. He salutes his way through. It's Anthony Abbasse across the line. He wins in Portugal ahead of Andre Nicastro. Daniel Bray has a calm and controlled race in third place, but all the way to the end, Anthony Abbasse keeps his cool, keeps his focus, and gets it all the way to the end of the 20-lap final. In third place for New Zealand, give it up for Daniel Bray. In second position for Brazil and the Modena Kart Racing Team, give it up for Andre Nicastro. And your race winner after a perfect weekend for France and the Renda Motorsport team, give it up for Anthony Abbasse.
Yeah, it was a nice week for us. The goal of this week is to prepare the World Championship in 2 weeks. So we drive on wet condition. So we know the track now in the wet, and we know now the track on the dry. So, but I need again to work a little bit on my pace for the final, because I was surprised by Nicastro. It was very fast at the final, but we need to understand. And then when we understand that, we will be ready for next week for the World Championship.
KZ2 Masters in Portugal in the sunshine. Anthony Abbasse strikes a perfect weekend, taking the wins in all of the qualifying heats, the super heats, and the final for Renda Motorsport. Andre Nicastro of Brazil just clinches a second place on the podium, with Daniel Bray of New Zealand rounding out the top three for the KZ2 Masters in the south of the country in Portugal.